Welcome everybody to this presentation. This is a big day for NKT in support of the green transition and also marks a milestone where we are now announcing that we are conducting a rights issue in support of our ongoing investments. Now, before we go further, I would like just to draw your attention to a disclaimer that you can read in detail. And after that, I would like to make a short introduction of myself. My name is Claes Westerlind, and I am the CEO of NKT since about a month. I've spent around 15 years in the transmission industry, first in the HVDC converter industry, and then the last 10 years in the high voltage cable industry, being part of NKT since 2017 when NKT bought the ABB cable business. And since 2019, I've been leading the Cosgrona factory in Sweden. And then since about a month, I have the honor and privilege to stand in front of you today as the CEO of this company. And to my right, I have Line.
Yeah. Hi everybody. My name is Andrea Fandrup, and I'm Danish. Så jeg kommer til at lave den her præsentation på dansk. Jeg er finansdirektør for NKT, og det har jeg været de sidste 3 år. Før NKT har jeg blandt andet været hos Novozymes, jeg har været hos AP Mærsk, jeg har været hos Rockwool og Cowi. Så nu vil jeg give tilbage til Claes, som vil tage jer igennem præsentationen.
Thank you, Line, and I will continue in English. We wanted to talk to you about 3 different topics today. First, the transaction rationale around the rights issue. We want to give you a highlight of the investment that we are now embarking on. And last but not least, to give you an update on the financial ambitions as they have been launched by NKT earlier last month. If we start with the journey that we have been on and that we are still on, it's great to see that we are a different company today than what we were 5-8 years ago. And this is, I think, a tribute to all the work that has been done by the people at NKT. And it's also a tribute to the green transition itself. In 2016-2017, that was a transformational period for this company, where, among other things, NKT acquired ABB's high voltage cable business, which allowed us to take a firm step into the high voltage DC market, has been important since, and we believe it's going to be even more important going forward. We also conducted a demerger of Nilfisk, and we made other structural changes of divesting some non-core assets. And those years basically structured this company to what it is today and the outset of the journey that we are now on. Following that period, there was a challenging market. In 2017-2018, some of our large projects suffered delays and also cancellations. That was due to political things, also legislative aspects. But in the end of the period, the market started to pick up, and with that also the order intake to NKT. Following that challenging time, we went into stabilization phase where we managed to get the orders that we needed to start to fill up. We also did 2 capital increases in the year of 2020, and that was in support of making NKT more robust and able to handle this market and the business, and in firm support also for an investment program that was launched in 2020, where NKT decided to expand both the Cosgrona factory and also the Cologne factory, aiming at extending our capabilities to do high voltage cables in support of the German corridors. And since that period, we have also been very successful in winning some significant orders, giving ourselves at the end of Q1 this year a record high order backlog, which we are very proud of. And this journey puts us where we are today, with this as at the junction now where the green transition is really taking off, and we feel that we have a strong outlook to base our continued journey on. We have a clear path forward with the investments we have made historically and the work we have done, both in terms of our people and also our assets. And with the backlog we have now, we are ready to start to execute on our promises. And the last piece of this puzzle is also that we are to strengthen ourselves with this rights issue and coming capital raise in order for us to conduct the investments in full and also build NKT to the company we need to be in the coming years. And with those words, I will hand it over to Line.
Tak, Claes. Så lige for at fortælle omkring baggrunden for det her udbud af nye aktier med foretegningsret til vores eksisterende aktionærer. Det er et meget attraktivt marked, vi er i lige nu som selskab. Den grønne transition har høj hastighed. Det gør, at vi skal være klar til fremtidens muligheder i dag. Det indbefatter, at vi investerer i vores svenske sejl og bygger en helt ny fabrik og også får et kabellægningsfartøj mere. Det har vi brug for den her kapital til, blandt andet. Vi skal også sikre, at vi kan eksekvere på at være en stor projektvirksomhed med en stor ordrebeholdning på højspændingskabler. Projektvirksomheder har en anden, kan man sige, risikoprofil end nogle andre selskaber. Det betyder, at vi skal have tilstrækkelig finansiel kapacitet til simpelthen, hvis der skulle opstå noget uforudset. Vi er dygtige til at eksekvere på projekter i NKT, og det har bevist historisk også nu med de finansielle tal, vi har leveret igennem de sidste par år. Men vi skal sikre, at vi er robust nok til at være den her større projektvirksomhed. Det betyder, at vi også styrker vores kapitalstruktur, vores balance, for at sikre, at vi kan få de finansielle instrumenter, som det kræver, både for at vinde og eksekvere projekter. Og det er blandt andet garantilinjer og andre former for instrumenter. Så med de tre ligesom forskellige vinkler, det er årsagen til, at vi i dag laver den her udbud af nye aktier. Så kommer lidt mere ind i detaljen omkring, hvordan ser strukturen på det udbud ud. Det er sådan, at alle vores eksisterende aktionærer per aktie vil få tildelt en tegningsret. Med 4 tegningsretter og 255 kroner kan man få en ny aktie. Så det er sådan den simple struktur omkring den her nye kapital. Det, der kommer ud af hele det her udbud, det er til syvende og sidst, at vi rejser, hvad der svarer til ca. 2,74 milliarder danske kroner, eller 368 millioner euro i provenu til at investere, som jeg lige gennemgik på den foregående slide. Det, der kommer her til, det også, at selskabets ledelse, Claes og jeg selv, vores bestyrelse og selskabet er i en lock-up period på 180 dage, hvor vi ikke handler aktier. Og derudover så vil jeg lige pege på, at hvis ikke man får udnyttet de her tegningsretter, så bortfalder de, og man kan ikke på et senere tidspunkt komme tilbage og har ingen ret til kompensation. Så det er en god mulighed for at deltage for vores eksisterende aktionærer i det her udbud og være med på rejsen fremadrettet. Ja. Tidslinjen er således. I dag får vi prospektet, og vi lanceret prospektet 8. juni, hvis I ser videoen senere. Den 12. juni er den periode, hvor tegningsretterne kan handles. Den 14. juni, der begynder tegningen af de nye aktier. Den 23. juni, der stopper handlen med tegningsretter. Og den 27. juni, der stopper handlen med de nye aktier. Den 29. juni, så kan vi offentliggøre resultatet af det her udbud. Og den 4. juli kan vi fortælle, hvad det så har givet i proceeds og hele konklusionen. Den 5. juli vil være den første dag, hvor aktierne, de nye aktier og de gamle, handles på børsen. Med det, så tilbage til Claes.
Thank you, Lina. And this takes us into the second part of the presentation, where before we head into the highlights around the investment that we are looking into for the moment, I wanted to give you a brief summary of NKT as a whole. We have 3 parts of this company. One is the solutions business, which is in essence the high voltage part of NKT. And as you can see here, that represents about half of our revenues and a little bit more than half, 60, close to 70% of our profit. This is where we are offering onshore, offshore cables up to the highest voltages to our customers on a turnkey base. We have the applications business, which is fundamental for us, and that is up to close to 40% of the revenues, and a little bit less, up to almost 20% on the profit side, where we have a wide range of offering everything from building wires to low voltage to medium voltage. Applications of those cables could be, for example, in renewables sectors, solar plants, but can also be when we construct buildings in our society. And last but not least, a smaller part of NKT financial-wise, but very important enabler for us, both from a profitability perspective and also ability perspective. That's our service and accessories business lines, which provides us with the joints, the terminations to transfer the cables into cable systems, and also the service part, which provides maintenance and repairs should the cable system break during its lifetime. And if we move forward in the presentation, I wanted to elaborate a little bit around the 5 key enablers for the investment that we are now looking into. The first one is that what NKT does, and especially on the HV part, those are a critical component for the transmission systems of our modern society. When you're at home, when you turn your lamp on, things are natural that the power flows and the light comes on, but that's also because we have systems like NKT provides. And even more so as we transverse ourselves into the future with the green energy transmission, the need for the products and systems we provide becomes even greater. The second part is the technology-centric approach that we have as a company. We are a technology provider. We live, breathe from technology, and that enables us to deliver complex cable systems to our customers. And our customers, in turn, help the society transform into a more green society. Thirdly, we are well positioned as a company to benefit from our record level high order backlog. I alluded to that a little bit before. We have made several investments over the years, both in people and in assets. We have been successful in providing our offerings to the market and thereby acquired a significant order backlog. And now we are well positioned to move forward with that backlog as a base. And around the fourth aspect, there are further upsides also outside the solutions business for NKT, where, as an example, the applications business lines, both through internal hard work with our leaders and our people, we managed to improve, but also that we have some tailwinds in the demand for the moment. And last but not least, and maybe the most important one, NKT has over the last couple of years, as the journey earlier showed, we have demonstrated that we are able to deliver on our operational and strategic targets. It is true that the market is currently a positive outlook, but it's equally true that we have developed a great deal as an organization. Our processes, our means, our methods, our people, we have now shown for a couple of years that we are able to improve and deliver on our promises to you. Moving to the next one and looking further into the market a little bit, and I mentioned the green transition for a couple of times in this material, and here you can see it depicted in an illustration. This illustration shows the annual energy generation as it has developed from 2010 and forward, and as it's expected to develop going forward. And as you can see, the colored part of this development is substantial. That means that there will be significantly more green resources of energy added to this grid. Those resources, to be able to be connected to the grid, needs the products and systems from NKT. The consequence of those systems being added to the energy grid also makes the supply-demand mix in our energy grids to change, which in turn creates a need for more interconnectors between countries, between regions, and even between continents. And all of that also requires NKT's abilities and the technology that we provide. And last but not least, we can also see that the non-colored part of this are still substantial. So there's even upsides and opportunities for more. But if we deep dive a little bit and we go to the next slide, we can look at an offshore wind expansion ambition for Europe, which basically confirms what I just alluded to. There are significant political ambitions by the EU, and that is for EU to reach at least 300 gigawatt of offshore wind by 2050. You can see on the picture to the left, this is reciprocated and echoed by most countries, providing a different level of ambitions. But again, the message is the same. NKT offers a wide range of the products and systems that are needed, both to integrate these offshore wind resources, but also to enable the grid to deal with the intermittency of these sources. And in the last couple of years, we have seen that the market is growing substantially, pushed by several factors: green transition, also the general electrification in society with electric cars becoming used more and more. And lastly, and a little bit sadly, also the geopolitical situation that develops in the world. All of this is pushing the market volumes up from an historic volume of around 2 billion to where we can see today 8, and can go even further up to 10. We have proven that we are able to win orders in this developing market. As you can see to the left, a significant amount of orders have been acquired in the range from 2020 to 22, and even higher volumes now in the beginning of 23. It's different countries, it's different regions, different applications, which we are proud to, and we both have customers which we have delivered to before, repeating customers, where we prove our value's worth by delivering good cable systems, enabling the customer to solve their issues, so to the extent that the customer also comes back to us to buy a second, a third time, a fourth time, etc. And we are also able to acquire new customers in new regions, new countries, and thereby proving our ability to compete also in new domains. And the result of this is that our historical market share slowly but steadily is climbing and becoming more and more, which is satisfactory. And if you take a look at our backlog and the growth that the backlog has sustained in the same period from 2019 up until 2023, we are proud and humble that we have managed to get a multiple backlog from 1.4 up to 7 billion euros. And as you can see to the bottom of this page, even post the Q1 results being published, we have managed to increase it even further. And we said in the Capital Markets Day last year that we are willing, able, and ready to invest, but we will do so in a prudent manner, meaning that we have to secure order volumes that we can also load the new asset with before we take a decision to invest. And this is where we are now, with the Bay of Biscay interconnector, with the TenneT framework agreement, and also the East Anglia 3 project. We have decided to now commence the investment of 1 billion euros in an additional factory and also an additional vessel that will help us to meet the growing demand of our products and systems. Today and the journey up until today have taken us to the fact that we have 2 factories, one in Cosgrona and one in Cologne on the high voltage side, and we also have one cable lay vessel, NKT Victoria. And that has come on the back of a lot of hard work and also investments, as you can see to the bottom of this picture. The investment we have announced and that we are now conducting will add a third factory to these 2 factories, what we will call Cosgrona South. It's a complete new factory built in the existing perimeter of our plant in Cosgrona, enabling us to reap the benefits of the competence and some of the assets we have there, while still adding significant amount of capacity for the future. We will also add, as a consequence of that, a second cable lay vessel, and this vessel will be of record capacity and capability. So a more capable vessel than any other existing cable lay vessel on the market. And these 2 aspects combined will set us up in a very good way to meet the forthcoming market expectations and to deliver on the promises we have made to customers. Both assets are expected to become operational from 2027. And to finalize off with an historic reflection on the Cosgrona factory, which I think also represents a lot of NKT as a whole as well. We have been on a journey for many years, and looking at Cosgrona here, the Cosgrona plant has been expanding since 2010 in a structured and in a paceful manner. We have shown that we can carry out large investments and not only build these new machines and new halls on cost, on time, and on quality, but we have also been able to secure the people and the competence needed to actually run them and to enable us then to also deliver on our promises, both to our owners, but also to our customers. And that's why we stand proud today and happy that we can now commence the next stage of this investment journey, which starts today and is then aimed to be completed in 2027. And with those words, I would like to hand the word back to you, Line.
Ja, tak Claes. Så hvis vi lige går lidt fremad her i slide-dækket, så vil vi dykke ned i vores outlook for år 2023. Faktisk et opdateret outlook, som vi kom ud med i slutningen af april, fordi vores selskabets finansielle performance i Q1, første kvartal, var meget stærk. Det gjorde, at vi har justeret vores guidance for året til en omsætning på omkring 1,8 til 1,9 milliarder euro, og en deraf afledt operationel EBITDA på 200 til 230 millioner euro. Der er selvfølgelig nogle forudsætninger for at levere på det outlook for året. Den ene er blandt andet, at vi skal eksekvere stærkt på vores projekter i vores ordrebeholdning i højvolts spændingskablerne. Vi skal have begrænset implikationer af makroøkonomiske effekter globalt, forsyningskæde udfordringer eller generelle kostinflationen, som vi har set en del af i 2022. Dertil så skulle vi gerne have tildelt yderligere højspændingskabelprojekter, som kan have en finansiel impact i 2023. Og faktisk vil jeg sige, en af de press releases, I har set for nylig, relaterer sig til præcis det. Så skulle vi se en profitforbedring i vores applicationsforretning. Det her er relativt til 2022, vigtigt at sige, for vi har meget stærkt første kvartal på applicationsforretningen. Så hvis vi gentager det, så er det et meget, meget stærkt bidrag ind til outlooket her for året. Og dertil så er det for vores serviceforretning vigtigt at få noget arbejde med at rigtig reparere kablerne derude, hvor der har været en relativt lav aktivitet i første kvartal. Så det er den helt kort bane. Så er vi kommet ud med den mellemlange bane også, nye finansielle ambitioner fra 25, men også yderligere tilføjet finansielle ambitioner for 2028, som i høj grad er direkte afledt af den udvidelse, vi laver af Cosgrona. Når vi ser på vores omsætningsvækst, så sagde vi allerede i september 2022, da vi havde vores kapitalmarkedsdag, at vi ville vokse selskabet frem imod 2025 mere end 12% på gennemsnitligt. Nu har vi så tilføjet til det overrækken frem til 2028, at det er en tilsvarende vækst, vi vil se gennemsnitligt. I året 25 forventer vi en operationel EBITDA større end 300 millioner euro, og i året 2028 større end 550 millioner euro. Året 2025 er faktisk en justering opad, vil jeg sige, på EBITDA-marginen i forhold til det, vi tidligere kommunikerede i september 2022. Der sagde vi, at vi ville have en EBITDA-margin på 12-16% med de over 300 millioner euro, og den omsætningsvækst, som vi også har indikeret her, vil det svare til en EBITDA-margin, der ligger mere i området 14-16%. Det er i høj grad båret af højspændingskabelprojekternes positive efterspørgsels- og udbudskurve, som giver et prissætningsmiljø, som er favorabel for os som selskab. Tilsvarende for 28 er det også et stærkt marked, som gør, at vi forventer en EBITDA på det niveau. Afkastet på selskabet her, defineret som ROCE, Return on Capital Employed, er forventet i 25 til at være over 15%, og i 28 over 20%. Vi har tidligere sagt, at i 25 vil det være over 12%, så det har vi også justeret en smule. I høj grad er afkastet her båret af en forbedret indtjening, men også at vi opbygger simpelthen en større ordrebeholdning over årene, som har en positiv indflydelse på vores arbejdskapital, og dermed en positiv indflydelse på vores ROCE-metrik her. Ja, med det, så den sidste slide her i præsentationen omhandler vores kapitalstruktur og forventningerne til det. Vi er et selskab, der vækster. Vi har vækstet 15% 3 år i træk, og vi forventer mere vækst. Det kræver, at selskabet har en stærk kapitalstruktur, en robust kapitalstruktur. Vi skal investere i vækst. Vi skal gennemføre en 1 milliard euros investeringsprogram på vores svenske site, og det kræver kapital, og det kræver en stærk balance sheet. Vi skal kunne sikre, at selskabet kan modstå eventuelle udfordringer på enkeltprojekter, og vi skal også sikre, at selskabets arbejdskapital de sving, der hører med til at have en projektforretning, rent faktisk fint kan absorberes i den balance, vi nogle gange har. Og så skal vi sikre, at vores selskab som sådan er attraktivt, solidt finansielt, sådan at de lånebanker og andre institutioner, som stiller forskellige finansielle instrumenter til rådighed for NKT, ser positivt på os som selskab, og derfor er villige til at også støtte os i det fremadrettede. Sammensuget af det her betyder, at vi har vores leverage ratio for selskabet, har vi haft en ambition, der var op til 1 gange EBITDA, og nu har vi justeret til, at det skal være mindre end 0 på tilsvarende metric. Så en justering her for at signalere den styrkede kapitalstruktur, vi mener, selskabet skal have. Vi har bevaret vores solvency ratio til at være over 30%, og vi har også bevaret vores dividendepolitik omkring, at hvis kapitalstrukturen tillader det, så vil vi udbetale 1/3 af vores netresultat. Med det er præsentationen færdig, og jeg giver ordet tilbage til Claes for en afsluttende bemærkning.
Tak, Lena. Tak. Thank you for listening, and I hope you are as excited as we are. Our message is simple. If you believe in the green transition, you have all the reasons to believe in NKT. And with that, thank you so much for listening, and we hope that you found this information useful.